So, example number 7, a motorcycle moving at 35 kilometers per hour accelerates to 125 kilometers per hour in 3.75 seconds. How far did it travel, and what was the actual acceleration? So we have two different questions. Let's take a look at them. So we know that the initial velocity of the motorcycle was 35 kilometers per hour. And the final velocity was 125 kilometers per hour, and this process took 3.75 seconds. They want to know what the displacement was during this time, and they want to know what the acceleration was during this time. Now, using these four, we have a nice simple equation that's already set up for us. That is, d is equal to Vf plus Vi over 2 times t. Unfortunately, we have velocity in kilometers per hour, and we have time in seconds. What happens is these units don't actually cancel properly, so what we should do is convert these kilometers per hour units into meters per second. And the way to do that, divide by 3.6, divide by 3.6. And so you get a new initial velocity and final velocity. D is going to be equal to Vf, which is 125 divided by 3.6. So 125 divided by 3.6 is 37 or 34.72. So 34.72 meters per second. That's the final velocity in meters per second, minus 35, which is 9.72 meters per second, and we divide that by 2, we add them, divide by 2, and then multiply by time, 3.75 seconds, and now we'll get a solution. 34.73 plus 9.72, so 34.72 plus 9.72 and then divide that by 2 and then times by 3.75, and we get 83.3 meters. It took 83.3 meters for that bicycle or that motorcycle to move from 35 kilometers per hour to 125. Now, what was the acceleration? Well, again, using those first three, we could say that since acceleration is equal to Vf minus Vi over t, then a very simple substitution is Vf, but remember we should use 34.72 instead of the 125, minus 9.72, and divide that by the time, which is 3.75, and we end up with 34.72 minus 9.72, which is 25. 25 divided by 3.75 gives me 6.666. All right, 6.666 per second squared, or we would round that to 6.67 meters per second squared. So the displacement during this acceleration was 83.3 meters, and the acceleration was 6.67 meters per second squared.